Stereo imaging is very important, I would say. It's a way to have your left and right speaker kind of talk to each other. It increases perceived bigness, not necessarily loudness, and it's mostly overlooked. And we're going to show you how to kind of show you what imaging does, and what happens when you take it away, and how to make something with no no stereo image, no wide stereo image into something that sounds big and neat. So we have just a basic kind of vocal and synth scenario going on here. Think of your stereo image as a field that just kind of goes between the speakers and fills up the air above it. You can see it in any kind of analyzer. We have nice and big and wide here. Sounds very, very lush, I guess. And here's what happened when you artificially collapse the left and right into one sound. First, don't make the low end wide. That's a no-no. But anyway, you have this nice big wide sound, and then this dry vocal runs through, obviously, a mono mic. A trick they do is they record with two mics, one upside down on top of the other, that's right side up, and usually they're different, and that kind of gives it a left and right that's nice and warm artificially. So, just proof, this is a very wide, or not a very wide, a very narrow sound, because it was recorded that way. This is what you call dry vocals, and what we're going to do is we're going to make it big. I'm going to show you how we do that. Chorus is the easiest way to do that. It takes the left and right and it doubles it. Already it sounds big. You want to use it sparingly. Just basic wet dry in Ableton. That's what I usually do. You can increase the feedback to make it sound retarded. But generally wet dry, you can see that it's kind of spreading it out, and it's spreading it out in if you use it sparingly, it'll spread it out in a natural way, in my opinion. But that's not enough. You want to put this person in a room, and that's done with your reverb. You want to put them in a physical spot, because this is obviously very wide and reverby. You want to put this person naturally in the same spot. Reverb kind of pushes them back and up, and you'll kind of hear what I mean. We'll open up all our guys. We'll make it so it won't process the low end, just the high end. Decay time is more of how big the room is. You want a tail there. That's reverb, that's kind of smearing it out. Use reverb to kind of smear the sounds. Ping pong kind of, or delay, gives it, kind of bounces off the wall, but it repeats. This is done using tapes, and it was done using guitars, but then they used it on vocals back in the day. Again, it pushes it back, makes it perceivably quieter. gives it a nice big kind of big sound, and already it's comparable to this guy. You're gonna want that. Sounds better, but we want the delay to go into the reverb sometimes. You want it, you never, well, there's no rules, but generally you don't want the reverb going into the delay. You want the delay going into the reverb, just so it doesn't cause any messes. So with the chorus and that, to me that sounds quite nice. Got my favorite plugin, the Imager. What it does is it can collapse your sound, but it can make it wider. It'll pull out the wide parts of the sound and make them wider. Right? Makes it bigger, and it works quite well. Your doubler, that's your waves kind of chorus, but it's different. It's more phasey. You'd use that on guitars, not really vocals. I'll show you what we did here right now. This plugin pulls out. We can have just the center, right, and a mix. Or we could actually, it uses maths to kind of cancel out the center, and it'll just have the sides. And just that could be the effect to the extreme. But if you want the normal or the center mixed in, which I think you'd want, unless you're going for really trippy vocals, you'll take that out. Let's isolate each sound and see what we did. Generally, your kick, that looks like a pair of balls. Generally, your kick, or not your kick, your low end will want to be as narrow as possible, but not too much. But generally, I leave mine very narrow, and the rest would have to be left, as is. But you don't want a really wide low end on anything in your track. Just because that's the way you do it. This is very wide all throughout, very smeary, and you can see like how well this all sounds together now. You'd use this on leads, much like how I showed you what it sounds like with just the sides. You want the kick and the bass to be in the center of your image, and everything else to be pushed outwards, and that will give you everything will have its own space. And just having everything in mono doesn't sound too good. It doesn't sound too professional. And yeah, so we took a very dry vocal, and we added some chorus to give it that initial wideness, and then we spread it more to the left and right using ping pong delay. And then we smeared it even more, giving the vocal some space in the mix. And then finally, we enhanced the stereo image with a plugin. And I hope that helps you to understand how important putting things in your stereo image is. And yeah, it's one step to make your tracks sound better.